from the White House, courthouse, to the church house. God is cleaning all three houses. But what about our own house? You know, life and religion has caused great trauma to the souls of warriors. And with all this information readily available, where is the revelation that will heal the souls of the wounded warriors? Well, it's time to raise up the shields of warriors. This is the Way of a Warrior Unbreakable Love podcast. I'm Gina Guy Warren. Welcome to the Way of a Warrior Unbreakable Love podcast. I'm Gina Guy Warren. This is my husband, Brian Warren, MMA fighter. But we are so honored to have Dr. Deb with us. And we were just discussing hormone health. And when your mind wants to fight and it still wants to war, but your body's saying, I don't have anything left, I'm absolutely depleted. I would love for you to speak on this for our listeners.
Yeah. I feel like when women are in midlife and they're going through perimenopause and menopause, they sort of know to look out for hot flashes and, menstrual changes and things like that. But what a lot of women don't know is that hormones do so much more. They affect all parts of our body. And really importantly, hormones affect who we are on the inside. They affect how we relate to other people, how we react to the world around us. And when our hormones are not properly balanced, in perimenopause, they're up and down, it's hormone chaos. And then in menopause, it gets very depleted and we feel different. A lot of women will say, this is not me. I don't feel like myself. Something is not normal. And this is true for men as well, because as men age, their hormone levels change too. And testosterone is like literally the hormone that gives us confidence, drive, motivation, get up and go, get things accomplished. Like we want to take on the world. We think of it as the CEO hormone, but also I think we can think of it as the warrior hormone.
Yes.
And if it's depleted in men or in women, we just lose. Everything is so much harder. So your brain can want to be a warrior, but it's just so hard to actually get out there and get it done.
You just said a mouthful because they're depleted on the battlefield. And we are in a battlefield with medicine, what's taking out our children, our families. And this is a battlefield. And so what we discussed with this podcast, it's a warrior mindset. And, Dr. Deb, you are what you do is so amazing to me. It's so much honor and respect. But you had to fight to get there. I would love to hear just a little bit of how you got started at this.
Yeah. Well, originally, I had my own personal story. I was tired all the time. I was irritable and yelling at my kids, and I felt like this horrible mom because I had so much guilt. My poor husband didn't know what the heck to do with me. And I knew that how I felt wasn't normal, but nothing in my medical training helped me understand what was going on. And what ultimately was the turning point for me actually is my husband gave me a book about hormones, and it was written by Suzanne Summers. And you remember her, right? She's the ditzy blonde from Three's Company. And doctors don't want to get our medical information from celebrities, right? So I didn't even want to read the book, but I didn't know what else to do. And so when I read that book and I learned about all these women who felt just like me and then how much better they felt when they got their hormones balanced, that is what allowed me to open my mind and understand that there were some really important things that they didn't teach me in medical school. And once I understood, I was able to get my own hormones back in balance. I got my energy back. My kids got their mom back. My husband got his wife back, and I got my life back. But I couldn't go back to just writing prescriptions all day long because that just didn't feel right anymore. So I completely retired and retrained. And now for the last 20 years, I've been helping men and women get their hormones back in balance so that they can actually get well and get off a lot of the prescription medications and love the way they feel.
Dr. Deb, I think we just hit the warrior mindset. I heard you say it. So I retired and I retrained. I always use a nugget when I do my podcast. Like, there's just going to be one mic drop that I want you to walk away with and think, if Dr. Deb did this, then I can do it. You retired after all of that medical experience, after everything that you put into it, said, I'm going to retrain.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy. My original training, if you can believe this, is I was a pediatrician and I loved pediatrics. But then when I found out about this, all of a sudden, a lot of the things I was doing as a pediatrician no longer resonated. But I really wanted to help people this way because it's hard to get this kind of help. It's not something that regular doctors do, but who's going to go to a pediatrician for their menopause hormone replacement therapy? So I had a lot of fear. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to help people. I was afraid I didn't know enough. I was afraid I was going to get into trouble because what I was doing is not kind of the standard of care of medicine. It wasn't how I was originally trained. So it was hard and it was so rewarding. And I'm so grateful that I made the change because I feel like I've had the opportunity to have a much bigger impact than if I was just back there writing, antibiotics for ear infections and all the things, which is important, but this has been much bigger.
So you switched. So you were going in one direction, and then you realized, hey, I can help more people go in this direction. That's amazing.
Yeah, and all from your personal story. And I think that's what makes someone successful and prosperous is when they started from their own story.
Yeah.
And then others can relate, like, wait, you actually went through this and there was help and you turned your life around. And I think that's amazing, but that is a major warrior drop right here. I wonder how many would stop and say, boy, I put all of this into it, all this time, energy, focus. But then you said something else. There was fear involved because you're going against the stream of the medical community. So how did that play out with your colleagues? And just curious.
So a lot of my friends are in the medical field. They thought that I was crazy. They didn't really understand what I was doing. And I kind of overcompensated by every time there was any kind of training program or board certification that I could do, I just kept getting more certifications and more training because I was trying to prove to myself and to, everybody else that I had the authority to do the expertise to do what I was going to do. So I kind of overcompensated just a little bit. But, the other word that you said was prosperous.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that was not anything that happened, especially in the very beginning. And in fact, because I didn't know how to have a practice, right? They don't teach us anything about how to run a business when you're in medical school. And in order to do this, I had to step out of kind of the traditional medical system. And so I got into tremendous debt, and it took me years before I was actually able to pay off the debt. So I worked for many years without paying myself. And beyond that, both my husband and I had to get outside jobs to help pay for me to have this practice. But the reason that I kept going is because I could see with my own eyes what we were doing. And I believed so strongly that this was the right thing to do. And my patients were getting better. They're referring their friends and family. I just knew that this is how that I needed to practice medicine. And so it's worked out in the end. But yes, it was a long road.
I mean, what a struggle. I mean, thank you for sharing that portion of your story. When prosperous obviously means,
different
quite
things.
a few things, but you went into debt. So you literally got out of your comfort zone that's an understatement for what you went through. But you went out of your comfort zone and said, I'm going to be more useful in this direction. Then I'll see fruit and it's a good thing going this way, but I'm going to stop and course correct all of this.
Yes.
And I just have so much respect for that. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
So many different stories today, and I'm going to tell you this one right here, that means so much to me because it's never too late to start over.
Yes.
Change the path, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree. And I think this is a really important message, especially for women to hear, because as we go through perimenopause and menopause, things change and we don't feel like ourselves a lot of the time. That's one of the most common things women will come in and say. When men come in, they also don't feel good. But what men say is, I think it's just my age. I'm not, 30 anymore. And it's not just age, right? There's things we can do to make it better. But what women say is, this is not me. Something has changed and I don't feel like myself and this is not normal. But they've often already been to their doctor to complain and they've been told their lab, everything is normal. It's just your age. You just need to get through this time in your life. And what happens is 80% of women who are going through menopause actually say that these symptoms affect their career performance. And 10% of women drop out of the workforce because of menopausal symptoms. And this is where women are at the peak of their careers. And we have so much wisdom and expertise and leadership and impact.
So much to offer.
So much to offer. But, menopause does not have to be the beginning of the end. It doesn't have to be a decline. We are unfinished. And this is just a change. But our path, still, we have so much left to give. And so really why I'm here is I want for women to know, and men, that the second chapter, or however many chapters in you are, it does not have to be a decline. You do not have to struggle. We can help you to get back your sense of self. You have so much more, so much purpose to live out, and you can do it. You can get back your clarity, your energy. You have so much more left to offer. Don't give up. Don't accept feeling this way. You do not have to put up with feeling this way. There is hope, and you can feel like yourself again.
You're throwing the lifesaver to women of our age. You're just throwing them a lifesaver, and you don't have to sink. And there's so much more. I love that. I always say, the biblical thing is, the latter can be greater than the former. And, there's so many years ahead. And at this age, we have so much in our war chest.
Yes.
I always say our war chest is full. But like you said, with the perimenopause and menopause, they can be so powerful.
Yes.
And really overtake. When you're explaining, I was having a thought back of my daughters. I was homeschooling them. And I remember Ronnie coming out and acting a fool. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to handle it. And just in my spirit, I just felt the scent. It's hormonal. I just had a little, still small voice went, instead of disciplining her. And I looked at her and I said, sweetheart, I think it's that time you're just having some hormonal stuff. So what would you say to mothers that are dealing with their daughters possibly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hormone issues like this start right from, at the beginning of puberty. And obviously it's like the week before a period, like those few days before the period is when things happen. So I would say the first thing is watch for the cycle. And, when girls are first starting their periods, they're often not regular, so it can be unpredictable, but have some grace, right? It changes our emotions. It changes how we behave. It changes how we feel. And there are things that can be done, though, if girls are having a lot of problems with these hormonal changes. So nutrition, eating a healthy diet, like the sugar just makes things worse. Stress makes things worse. Stress is a huge cause of hormone issues for men and for women. And so if there are things that we can do to try to help them cope with stress in a healthy way, we won't be able to if only we could eliminate our kids' stress completely, but at least if they have some tools to cope with stress in a healthy way, that can help. So this healthy living plays a role. And then one other thing that especially moms do have, we don't always have control over all the things that our daughters are eating or doing.
We don't. That's right.
But one thing that we can do is we can make different shopping choices, because there are a lot of chemicals in the environment that are hormone disruptors that make this worse. This is part of the reason why so many teenagers, adults, midlife women have more hormone problems today than we ever have before. Chemicals in the environment are a huge cause of low testosterone in men as well. So things like getting rid of the plastic in our kitchen, don't microwave in plastic, use glass containers instead. When we're buying personal care products, looking for the ones that don't have all the chemicals in them. If you're buying, the laundry detergent that doesn't have all the scents and all the artificial fragrances, there are some simple things. We don't have to, we can't live in a bubble. We can't avoid everything, but some simple changes can go a long way.
And because hormone disruptors are in everything.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time.
Oh, good.
Front yard.
Yes.
She'll come out in the house and say,
First thing I say.
why don't people buy those detergents with the smelly stuff in it? I
Yes.
can smell it outside.
Yes.
What are they washing their
Yes.
you can just smell it in the atmosphere.
And when you're smelling it, the chemicals are going in your nose and they're going to your brain.
Yes.
And that's not a good thing.
Yes, it's not. But like you said, we're in the world. We're not of it, but
Yeah.
we are in it. And there are choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope the mothers are hearing you say, I know for our podcast, there are so many mothers that you are speaking to, because I can hear them in my head, the questions that they're constantly asking.
Yeah.
And you're so approachable.
Thank
You're so
you.
precious. I mean that with all due respect.
Thank you.
And I'm just excited to see, what a lot of our listeners that will be contacting you, I'm sure. Where are you operating? Where are you?
Yeah, my practice is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And because I am a medical doctor, people would have to come to us in Charlotte in order to establish care. And we have people that fly in from all over the country to get started with us. But if it's okay, I actually have something to give to people if you're okay with that.
Please do.
One of the questions that I get asked all the time is, how do I know if my symptoms are due to a hormone problem? And so I wrote a book called This Is Not Normal, A Busy Woman's Guide to Symptoms of Hormone Imbalance. And the book has a lot of checklists, like, is it, do you have symptoms of low testosterone or high cortisol or whatever it may be? So you can do the checklist. And then it's got some tips for things you can naturally do to start getting your hormones in balance. And it also has some resources for how you can find a doctor who can help you, because it's often not going to be, unfortunately, your gynecologist or your family doctor who really has the expertise. They can help treat diseases, but this is not really a disease. And so that we weren't given the right tools in our toolbox to really help with this.
Oh, that's amazing. I know I'm going to get your book, so I'm super excited.
And people can download a free copy at isityourhormones.com, and I'll give you the link. So if anybody would like a free copy, they're welcome to it.
Are you on social media at all?
Yeah.
Can they find you?
Yes, at Dr. Deb Matthew.
At Dr. Deb Matthew. Well, I know I'm going to be looking you up. And I mean, we deal with so many women that are dealing with this, and they just feel like there's just no answers, or they're overwhelmed.
Yes.
And they don't have a starting.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like you're able to actually offer a starting.
Yes.
So that they're not overwhelmed and be successful at the first step as they take it.
That's right. And I want them to continue to run the company, be the leader, that they've always meant to be. Don't quietly step back.
Don't quietly step back. And that's the whole she-healed momentum, right?
Yes.
Don't quietly step back, but step back into the position that you're called to be in, and do it in a healthy way, do it with energy and vitality. And so thank you, Dr. Deb, for joining us on this podcast. Really appreciate you.
And I want to say one last thing. So across the board, everybody we've talked to today, there's one common thread. You all want to help somebody. Based on the statement he said, you can download my book for free. That says it all in itself. You're not doing this for the money. You truly love people and want to help people. And that's the type of people we are.
That's wonderful.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It was a blessing to meet you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm Pastor Brian, Mr. Unbreakable Warren. This is my wife, Gina Guy Warren. Where can I find it?
Well, we are building a community of warriors and specialized mentorship. So you can go to thewayofawarrior.org. If you're in need of immediate rescue or intervention help, please visit us at rescueorintervention.com. Trauma counseling, our books, or you'd like to support our missions, please visit our nonprofit website at truthandloveministries.org. God bless you all.